Okay, this is Brooksie coming at you. This is part two. So what we've done is we've drilled out the bottles. I've got my little Coke bottles here. Drilled a hole in the back, and that's where the lights are going to go in. So now what we're going to do is we're going to thread the lights in, and then to give it kind of a finished look as well as make sure the lights don't come out because these lights are really small, we've got a little grommet, and we're going to try to get that inside that hole, or at least a piece of the grommet. You'll see how we only need to use a little bit of it. So what I have here is I have officially they're called fairy lights. This is something that you can find at a lot of craft stores. I actually go up to a place that is north of Alpharetta called Christmas Lights, etc. You can order online and actually pick up, it's part of the omni-channel thing. So this is what it looks like on the inside. And I thought using red, which is the typical Coke color, with the green Coca-Cola Life bottle would be kind of a nice juxtapositioning, as well as the fact that it might look really great around the holiday time. But let's not wait till the holidays. Let's put it on your desk and light up the world. So here's what it is. I'm just kind of unraveling this a little tiny bit. This is wire in between the two, and it's not just like regular Christmas light wire. It's actually got some ability to retain shape. And so I'm going to kind of take advantage of that as I put that in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do and I know this is like rocket surgery here for a lot of folks. Yes, I'm going to just thread the wire into the hole. I'd like to say it gets more complex than that. It kind of doesn't. What you'll find is there are a few techniques which I'll try to show you as we do this. Sometimes the wire doesn't want to go in the hole, but fundamentally it's a very straightforward activity. So typically what I'll do is I'll actually invert the bottle. So not only is it a little easier to feed from the top, but what I'm really looking to do is I'm looking to get the wire here at the bottom and pull it out through the neck of the bottle. And what that allows me to do is that allows me to get in all the lights and then kind of lower lights back in as I'd like to kind of arrange them, quote unquote, a little bit, so you don't have everything all kind of stacked up at the bottom of this thing here. So as you can see, I'm feeding the lights into the bottle. I want to make sure that I don't have any twists and ties down here because that would create a bottleneck. Ha 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 ha. All right, so I'm pulling that in. Check this out. So these are all going inside here. Now, the whole purpose of this, of course, is to put it on your desk or in your kitchen or in a bar area and have it look ultra, ultra cool. You're about to be introduced to my dog. He's a small white dog and therefore very loud. He's wondering why I'm talking out loud, perhaps. He doesn't spend a lot of time on YouTube, actually. I think that's a shame. I think puppies of all kinds could really pick up a few neat tricks if they spent more time on YouTube. So now you see that I've reached the end. There's this little kind of transformer-ish thing. There's no way that's going through there, right? So what I'm doing now is I'm taking one of these little rubber grommets and I'm just going to cut it in half. Now I pick these up at a hardware store. You can get them a variety of places. And you kind of try to find one that's about the right size. Usually what I need to do is go in here and you'll see I'm just taking a little piece of that out. And usually you need to do something like that to try to reduce the size of it. So once you have that, let's see if that's going to work. That's still maybe a little much, a little too much material. So I'm going to cut that again. And you can use regular scissors. These are just the ones I happen to have on hand. So what I personally like doing is I like having the opening at the bottom of this. Just pop that guy in there. Now I may actually cut some of this out of the YouTube because sometimes it takes a while to get that in there. And you say, you know what, Dave, that's still too much material. So Brooksie, let's cut that baby up a little bit more. What that also means is that if you do it and you know in advance it's not going to take a lot of the rubber in this, and that's because I actually made the hole smaller. You can be a little smarter than I was right there and actually cut it in half so you get twice as many per grommet. And you can see how that's starting to just kind of fit in there. And that provides a nice kind of finished look to it, right? So if you look at it here, boom, there you go. And now the lights will not come out because it just can't get by there. So serves a couple purposes at once. Now what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to do some kind of loose coils of this. I found sometimes when you do this and you try to, in essence, feed it back into the bottle, it spreads out a little bit better inside the bottle than just jamming them back in. But if you're a jammer, far be it for me to tell you how to do it. Like Bob Ross says, you know, this is your world, so you can make it what you like. So I'm going to just now start feeding this back in. And we may find that these curls really don't work because the wire is so stiff. It's very cold outside today, so it could be that the wires are just very, very stiff. So you'll see how these are starting to fill up inside the bottle. And the cool thing is, if you've got either a long pair of tweezers or some forceps, if you're a doctor or have a friend who's a doctor or you've played a doctor on TV, you can kind of move it around. You can also use, if you're careful, chopsticks or something like that, just to kind of distribute the lights inside the bottle a little bit, because I think that looks a little bit nicer. So now we're starting to come up with some good visualization here, and normally what I'll do is I'll kind of invert it a little bit here so I have some control over the last few lights. So kids, feel free to try this at home. Don't do the drill, let your parents do it. They know the drill. All right. So the other thing that I think is kind of nice is when you lodge a couple kind of right up near, let me get a little bit more, right up near the neck of the bottle. So you can see that by kind of collapsing the wire here a little bit, giving it some structure. So I'm going to let that sit for a little bit. I'm not going to cap it right now because there's still a little bit of moisture in from the bottle being in the water earlier, but I'm going to just go ahead and leave this on. These lights actually are, I believe you can actually put these underwater, so they're not going to get hurt put in there. They're LEDs. They last forever on 3 AA batteries. And so the cap will go right on here. Normally when I take caps off the bottle, if I know I'm going to do a project like this, I'll try to just dent it as little as possible. But that's the story. So now you have a wonderful Coca-Cola Life bottle. And I'll probably distribute the lights a little bit more in here as I tweak it, but you guys get the idea. So this is Brooksie coming at you. Thanks very much. Talk to you later.